Let's go ahead and start in mountain pose. As you're getting ready, I don't think we'll need any particular props today. Sometimes a block or two might come in handy, so you can grab that if you'd like, if you're practicing from home. Once again, my name is John. This is Power Hour. And the theme for our class today, I've entitled it Triangles, Diamonds, and Pyramids. That's the name of our class today. So mountain pose. So as you make your way up to the top of your mat, you might stand with your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. You might close your eyes or just soften your eyes. Take a gaze forward or downward. So you can just tune in to your breath. Pay attention to your own breathing. Good, just slow, steady breaths. Just settling into your own body. Listening to the sound of your breath, feeling your breath. Let it guide you inward as you take this journey inside. Very good. Go ahead and take 3 more slow, deep breaths. And with these breaths, prepare your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Reach all the way up. Treat it like a nice stretch. And exhale, we'll fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And just slowly and carefully make your way down. You might touch your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or your thighs and extend your spine, a long flat back. Exhale, let's fold again. We're going to hold this forward fold for a moment. So again, you might touch your toes, but you don't have to touch your toes in this posture. So you might even have your hands a little higher up on your legs, maybe your shins or your knees, maybe a bit more of a bend in your knees, just to protect your back, your hamstrings. And if it feels okay, you might even hang heavily forward here, just taking on that ragdoll quality of the posture. And you might even roll your shoulders just to loosen up the shoulders, a little shake in your head. And perhaps even a little sway of your upper body left and right. And just come back to center. Shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees like you're going to sit down. Look forward. Take your arms out to the side. Then inhale to stand up all the way. Reach into the air. Extended mountain pose. Exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. Hold for a moment, just take a breath. We're going to do that same sequence again. When you're ready, inhale to sweep the arms out and up. Reach high, nice stretch. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward. Again, a nice softness in your knees. Guide your way down, take your time. Inhale, rise up halfway, forming that long tabletop with your torso. We'll exhale and fold again, just a brief pause in this forward fold. Then again, shifting your weight back into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, arms spread out to the side as you inhale, and rise up, reach into the sky, and exhale, hands back down to your heart. We'll take a moment in stillness, return to the feeling and the sound of your breath. Nice. We'll just keep this connection and deepen our connection as we continue with our full sun salute. Whenever you're ready to move, inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Energy in your hands and fingers. Exhale, let's swan dive. Making your way down to your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway. Feel the lengthening of the spine. Exhale, bend your knees enough to place your palms on your mat so you can just step or walk both of your feet back into plank pose or this high push-up position. Let's hold for a few breaths. Just feel the strength and energy in this posture. Hands pressing strongly into the ground, even feeling like you're pushing yourself farther away from the ground in this pose. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. This is our shortcut to downward facing dog. You might even tiptoe forward a little bit, adjust your hands, whatever you might need to do to help settle into your inverted posture. Now remember, our theme today is triangles, diamonds, and pyramids. So this is our first triangle or pyramid shape, with the hips nice and high, hands pressing strongly into the ground so you have a lengthened spine, but it's okay if you have a slight bend in the knees here. Let's breathe in, getting ready to move. Exhale, draw belly in, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of your mat. Once you're there, inhale, rise up halfway. We're going to hold this posture as you exhale. So we're in half forward fold. So hold here. And as you hold, just feel your feet rooted into the ground. Just notice if your weight is forward in your toes or back in your heels. If that's the case, just find the center using the whole foot. And as you're here, elongated, feel the energy moving through the crown of your head, the very top of your head. It's leading you forward while your hips and tailbone are moving you back. And you've got this nice parallel line in the body. From here, shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees, then inhale it, stand up. Once again, reach into the sky. Let's keep it moving. We're going to exhale and sit into chair pose or Utkatasana, our chair-like position. Find the posture. We're going to inhale, maybe just reach out through the arms a bit more. Then exhale, dive out of your seat, back down towards your toes. Nice forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway to that same tabletop. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to the mat, and just step back into plank pose. Once again, we'll pause for a moment just to feel that energy and strength in your body. We'll take a breath in. This exhale, if you like, finish your push-up, come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. You might even come all the way down to your belly if you want. And your back bend can be a low cobra or an inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Make your adjustments, having returned to our triangle shape here. Let's continue. Inhale, extend your right leg up, reaching back energetically through your right foot. And exhale, bringing right foot up to the top of the mat, next to your hand. Let's turn left heel to the ground behind you. Shift your weight back into that foot so your hands are light. So you can inhale, rise up, reaching into the air, warrior one. We're going to exhale, fold, bring your hands back down to the ground. Let's step back into plank pose. Let's keep it moving, finishing the push-up if you'd like, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, or keep it low if you'd like. And an exhale to downward facing dog. Just move at your own pace. You don't have to rush. Whenever you're ready, you can inhale to extend your left leg up, reaching back through your toes. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, landing. Right heel turns to the ground. Shift your weight back so the hands are light. So you can inhale, float your way up, hinging from hips, warrior one. And your exhale to fold, bringing your hands back down. We'll step back into plank pose. Now you could just take the shortcut to down dog or just continue to finish the whole progression. Chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing. Hold for a moment. Let's go ahead and bring knees to the floor. We're going to sit back into hero pose just very briefly because we're going to take a seat. Just slide off of your heels onto the mat, swing the legs around to the front. Make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. We're going to lie down. We're going into bridge pose. So you're going to lie down with your knees bent, feet firmly planted into the ground. Arms can just rest by your side for a moment. And even just rest. Just settle into the ground. Feel the ground underneath you. Then we'll move, breathing in deeply to fill up your lungs. Exhale completely to engage your center so you can lift your hips up off the ground, moving into bridge pose or this back bend. You can just lift and just hold there, but you might even take your upper body, rocking left and right slightly to bring each shoulder a little bit more underneath you if you're able. Squeezing shoulder blades together to help feel more of an opening in the chest, even your hips. If you need a little bit more stabilization, bend your arms at 90 degrees and just press down into the ground with your elbows and your triceps, and that might stabilize you and lift you up a little higher. Deep breaths here, and even imagine or feel the breath filling up your lungs, breathing up high along the collarbones. Let's get ready to move. You're just going to wiggle your toes forward a little bit. Extend your arms straight up into the air. That should create space so we can safely roll out of the posture, come back down to the ground. Land softly. Go ahead and hug knees into chest. Start rocking gently forward and back, and with a good exhale, whenever you're ready, rock your way up to a seated position. And we're going to go into boat, but we're going to go into boat from this space. So you can just follow me. You bring your heels to the ground and flex your feet. And go ahead and hold on underneath the knees here. And just lift yourself up. We're just starting here because it's just another triangle right here. Another triangle shape. But it's a nice way to get into the pose, and you can even stay in this posture. So you'll inhale just to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, pull belly in, just to engage and lock yourself into this nice straight line. Then start to lean back a little bit. And again, this could be the end of the pose, keeping the heels on the ground if you want. Or keep leaning back a little bit more. Step your heels in a little bit more toward yourself. And as the weight shifts back towards your torso, the feet will become light and they'll just lift up off the ground. Just easily. You won't have to lift them on their own. They'll float on their own. You can still hold on to the bent knees or even release the legs if you like. We're going to breathe in, and the exhale will cross legs. If you can, roll forward, catch yourself with your hands, or just set your hands to the side and just swing the feet around to the back so you can step back into plank pose. Now from here, set your right knee onto the mat underneath your hip. Make sure it's a straight line right down to the ground. And then swing the right foot off to the right side. It might even come off the mat a little bit, just a little bit, because it'll be a little kickstand, because we're going to go into side plank with a variation. Knee on the floor, right hand stays on the ground, and just open up the body sideways, taking the left arm up into the air. Now, even though you really can't see it, you've actually created another triangle shape with the legs. Nice extension through this left arm, opening up. It may even act as a nice hip opener, so even push your pelvis forward a little bit. We're going to breathe in. Exhale, carefully turn to return to the floor with the left hand. Let's bring the kickstand back in. Come back to plank pose. Lifting both knees, so we're at regular plank. And then we'll do the other side. So gently set the left knee onto the ground, directly underneath your hip. Make a kickstand by swinging the left foot off to the side, and then opening up sideways. So left hand and left knee stay on the ground, opening up so you feel sideways. And again, we've created another triangle shape with the legs. Nice extension through that right leg. You can keep that right foot on the ground, but you even feel free to lift the foot off the ground if you'd like. Pushing the pelvis forward just to activate that hip opener a little bit. Let's take a breath in, and our exhale to slowly return to the earth. Let's bring the kickstand back in, come back onto your toes, plank pose. Hold. Let's take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. Let's continue. Inhale, extend your right leg up. We're going to open this up. Bend your knee, bring your heel down towards your backside, lifting the knee towards the ceiling, which will create a bit of an opening in the hips. Your next exhale, unwind it and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, going for warrior one. So left heel plants into the ground behind you. Shift your weight back, hands are light, rise up. And your exhale to warrior two. Good. Yeah, make some adjustments with your feet if you'd like to. A little wider in the stance, lunging deeply. Good energy in the arms. Let's take this to side angle. Reach out over the right thigh to angle the upper half of the body. Nice. Rotate your arms. Right arm might come to the inside of this right leg, and left arm opening up. So this kind of mimics that pose we just did on the ground. That side plank pose. Now we're in side angle pose. Good. Come back up to warrior two. Just a little movement of the torso coming back to center. We're going to change this into triangle pose. You're going to extend your right leg, straighten it out. Now, if you have a lot of distance between the feet, feel free to shorten that distance if you want, okay? So we're here, nice and tall, straight arms, triangle. So reach out over the right leg, angled upper body, rotate the arms. And here we are in triangle pose. Feeling that nice extension or stretch quality in your right hamstring. It's a nice hip opener as well. To come out of the posture, we're going to bend the right knee, lunge, come back up through a warrior two, but then reverse the warrior. So take your right hand up into the air. Reach up to get a side stretch, that right side. Then we'll windmill to bring both hands down to the floor in front. We'll step back into plank pose, just a pause. And then our shortcut to down dog, a softness in the knees, lift hips into the air. Other side, inhale, extend left leg up. Let's bend the knee, lift the knee up as you create that opening in the hips. Next, exhale, unwind it and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat next to left hand. Right heel to the floor behind you, grounded, so you can easily float your way up to warrior one. And our exhale to warrior two. Same thing, make some adjustments, mainly for balance and stability, but maybe some more opening in the hips if you'd like. Be sure your left knee and your toes in front are pointing directly forward. Then we'll take our side angle pose, reaching out over this left thigh. Rotate the arms. I typically stay up high in this pose. I don't get too close to the ground with this left hand, but you're certainly welcome to. You can certainly go much lower. Maybe your fingers or your hand touches the ground, or bring in a stack of blocks if you want. Okay, we're going to come back up to warrior two, changing this to triangle pose. So straighten the left leg. If you need to, shorten the distance between the feet, which is what I typically do. And then reach out over this left thigh, rotate the arms again. So it's almost like warrior two, you just happen to have a straight left leg in this case. Nice opening. Take your time, allow for that nice lengthening to occur. When we're ready to come out of the pose, we'll start with the lunge of this left knee. Bend the knee. Come back up through a warrior two. Reverse your warrior, taking your left hand up into the sky. Reach up, or even slightly behind you if that feels okay, just to lengthen and reopen that left side body. Then we'll windmill, bringing both hands down to the mat in front. We'll step back into plank pose. Now you're welcome to take that same shortcut to down dog, or finish all the way through the vinyasa. Chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. Arriving in down dog, we'll breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale to walk, step, or hop, both feet up to the top of your mat. Stay on your feet there. Inhale, rise up halfway. Again, we're going to hold it here. So same thing as we did earlier. Find that centering in the feet. There can be a softness in the knees. Feel an energy moving through the very top of your head and through your tailbone. And they're moving in opposite directions. Hold for a couple more breaths. So this is half forward fold. Now shifting weight back into the heels, bend your knees. We're going to stand up tall. Go ahead and inhale, reach into the sky. And then exhale, bring the arms down by your side this time for this version of mountain pose. You might even turn your palms forward just so you can get that natural outer spiral in the shoulders. They naturally roll back to help open up through the chest and heart space. And feel free just to kind of relax, even shake this out. Shake your hands, wiggle your wrists, move your elbows, roll your shoulders. Good. And then when you're ready, just come back to mountain pose. Just reactivate the body. We're going to tree pose. So we're going to shift our weight into the right foot. So press right foot down into the floor. We're going to feel tall. So inhale to feel that lengthened spine. Exhale, draw belly in to engage and support body. So you can float your left foot up, flexing the foot perhaps. We're going to swing the knee out to the side and then plug the foot maybe down by your calf. Because with that position, we could create another triangle shape in the legs. You can certainly go lower or higher with the foot. That's fine. Go ahead and inhale. Take the arms straight up into the air. Reach, lift, feel light. This lightness that's drawing you upward like you might float away. But you're also grounded, so you're connected to the earth. Taking a focus straight out in front or even downward. Maybe just drop your eyes towards the ground or something that's near the ground. Let's keep the arms extended. We'll swing the left knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground and bring your arms down by your side again. So same thing. Turn palms forward. And then if you like, shake all that out. Even your feet. Good. Getting ready for the other side. No rush. Just reactivate in your mountain pose. Tall, steady, and proud. Start shifting weight into your left foot. We'll root down. Lengthen spine. Feel tall. Core engagement with an exhale. When you're ready, float the right foot up. Maybe flex the foot. It just keeps the legs strong. We're opening the gate here. It's our hip opener. Placing foot maybe down by calf. That way we've got our nice triangle shape here. Then we'll inhale, extend the arms straight up into the sky. Reach, lift. Once they're up, lift a little higher. Core engagement. Feel that exhale. Uddiyana Bandha, engaging the abdominal lock. Just helping with some of the energy in the body and the stability in the body. Focusing forward or slightly downward. Let's keep arms extended. We'll swing the right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. We'll plant it into the ground. Arms come down by your side. Palms forward to finish. And shake it out. All right, let's get ready to flow. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, nice extension through the arms. Exhale, we'll dive out of the seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Go at your own pace. Exhale, bend knees, hands to the mat. Walk, step, or even hop back into plank pose. Come down right away if you're able, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Arriving in downward facing. We're going to inhale, extend right leg straight up behind you. Bend and twist open. As you exhale, unwind it, step through, warrior one. Landing up top, left heel roots into the ground. Lightness in the hands so you can rise up, inhale. Exhale, opening warrior two. Settling in, find your balance. Side angle, reaching out. Rotate the arms. If you'd like, follow the left arm over your head. Reach, nice extension through the left side. We're going to breathe in. Exhale, turn, bring your hands to the ground. We're going to step back into plank with right foot lifted. Reach. Remember tree pose? You're going to do tree pose again, but still in this posture. So bring your right foot, maybe just your toes, and just let them touch maybe your left calf. We've made another little triangle shape with the right leg. You're going to do a mini push-up. Just bend your elbows a tiny bit like you're going to do a push-up, but then push away from the floor, re-extend the right leg and take it up into the sky. So we return to a down dog, right leg extended. Right foot now returns to the top of the mat for a high lunge this time. After we've landed, shifting weight back towards that left heel. So the heel is lifted, rise up. So we'll be here, so making sure all 10 toes are pointing forward. That left heel is lifted. Reach into the sky, lunge towards the earth. We're going to lift up, straightening both legs, especially that front leg. Turn sideways, turn left heel to the floor, turn sideways, drop arms to parallel. Now we're set up for triangle, but we're not going to do triangle just yet. Turn your right foot so it matches what your left foot is doing. So I call this a little star shape. We're going to inhale, reach out with the arms, feel tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, and then just fold. Maybe bringing fingertips to the ground. Inhale, rise up halfway. Rise up to your fingertips to extend spine. Exhale, folding again. We're going to hold here. So we have a nice wide-legged forward fold. In a way, it creates another triangle shape. Nice deep breaths to get into all parts of the legs, which is nice in this posture. Three more breaths. You're going to inhale and rise back up to your fingertips to help extend spine. Hold here on the exhale with an extended spine. Your weight is probably forward towards your fingers, but here start shifting your weight back towards your heels. Bend your knees and feel like you're going to sit down. That should lighten the hands so you can take your arms out to the side. Spread your wings. Yes. Now stand up nice and tall. Return to your star shape. We're going to turn the right foot forward, still with the straight right leg. Now we'll take our triangle. Reach out over that right leg. Rotate the arms. Two more breaths. Coming out of the pose, we're going to bend the right knee for a lunge and leverage to come back up, passing through Warrior Two. Reverse your warrior, reaching right hand up into the air or slightly behind you. Then our windmill to bring both hands down to the floor in front. We'll step back into plank pose. Your choice on how you get to down dog. Take the full vinyasa or take a shortcut. Once in down dog, setting it up. We'll inhale, extend left leg up into the air, bend and twist open. Next exhale, unwind it, step through. Warrior One. Right heel plants into the ground behind you, rising up. Exhale, opening, Warrior Two. Right away to side angle. Rotate the arms, maybe follow right hand over your head, reaching so you find that extended quality in the right side body. Breathe in. We're going to exhale to turn, bring the hands back down to the ground, step back plank with left foot lifted. Hold for a moment for strength. And that fallen tree pose. So we're going to bend the left knee, but place the toes on the calf. Here we're lifting the knee so it's pointing to the left side of the room. So it's like tree pose. So gravity is going to try to pull that knee down. Try to resist that pull. Lift the knee. Here's your partial push-up. Little bend of elbows, go down, but then push away from the ground, straightening the arms, and then extend the left leg back up into the air, return to down dog. Exhale, left foot returns to the top of the mat for high lunge. Right heel stays lifted, shift the weight back so the hands are light, so you'll hinge your way up easily into your pose. Reach up for lightness, lunge deeply to connect to the ground. Even squeeze inner thighs towards each other for some good energy and stability. We're going to lift ourselves up, really straightening this front leg so we can pivot open to our triangle setup. But we're going to do the forward fold again. So turn the left foot so it matches the right foot. Inhale, reach out, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, and fold. Finishing the breath. Inhale, re-extend spine, rising up to fingertips. And exhale, fold again. Now we've been here already, so your body has already been introduced to the pose, so you might want to play with it a little bit. You can take the feet a little wider if you want, or add even some more other movements in the body if you like. Maybe a little twist, change your hand position, going a little deeper. Lunge. Three more breaths. Take your time. We're going to inhale to rise back up to fingertips to re-extend spine. Hold here as you exhale. Pull belly button in and up to lock it in place. Start shifting your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees. Let the hips drop like you're going to sit down. That should lighten the hands. Extend your arms out to the side. Keep that extended spine as best as you can. Then we'll stand up until you're in that star shape again. Just turn the left foot forward. Keep the legs straight. We're going to triangle. So reach out over that left thigh. Rotate the arms. Very nice. Coming out of the pose, let's bend the left knee for the lunge and leverage. Coming up, passing through our warrior two, so you can reverse the warrior. Left hand reaching up, maybe slightly behind. And then our windmill, bringing the hands down to the ground in front. We'll step back into plank pose. Again, your choice on how you return to down dog. The shortcut is fine, or a variation of a flow. Making your way into the pose. Gently set your knees onto the ground. We're going to take another seat. And when you take your seat, you're going to bring the legs around to the front here. We're going to come to cobbler's pose, or bound angle. And just slightly different, because bound angle, typically we just bring the soles of the feet together. You can certainly draw the heels in close, which is what we would typically do. But in this instance, step the feet forward a little bit. It does a couple of things. One, it takes some of the strain out of the knees, especially if you're trying to pull the heels in. That puts a lot of pull in the knees. But just sending them forward a little bit actually gets more of a right angle in the legs here, and it's not as it doesn't pull as much on the knee joints there. And we created more of a diamond shape. So here's our first diamond. So you might even hold on to your shins, sitting up tall, breathing in. Exhale, pull belly in and start to hinge forward just a little bit, sending your heart and chin forward a little. Maybe a couple breaths there. You're certainly welcome to go a little deeper, still sending your heart forward, even thinking of sending your heart out past your toes. That way we can probably maintain a relatively straight spine. It might round a little bit, which is fine. We just want to create that nice extension as best as we can, and getting a little bit of that inner thigh release and stretch in our little diamond seated position. Very good. Let's hold for a few more breaths. Go ahead and take 3 more breaths at this point. Then taking your time, let's slowly return to a nice tall seated position. Hold there for a moment. Take your time. Good. All right. If you happen to be sitting up on a prop, I was sitting on a block. So if you happen to be sitting on a prop, we want to come off the prop. We're going to move right into that boat pose again. You can do that same variation where you might start with the heels on the ground, where we create our little our triangle shape there. Lengthen spine, nice and tall, and that leaning back after we've exhaled to feel that centering and connection, maybe lifting feet if you'd like to, holding on or releasing. Let's hold. Okay, we're breathing in. Even feel like you're lifting yourself up off the ground. Exhale, cross legs. If you can, roll forward. Catch yourself with your hands, step back, or hop back plank pose. Now, as best as you can, we're going to right side plank. Right hand stays on the ground. If you're able, keep the legs straight here. And to keep them straight and strong, flex your feet. Even stack one on top of the other. Lifting the left hand into the air, and let the left hip follow the left hand up into the air. Lots of strength and energy. You can always do this with your right knee on the ground. If you can, float the left foot and leg up, bend your knee, turn the knee towards the ceiling, and just set your toes gently on the inside of that extended right leg. Another triangle shape. Sideways tree pose. Breathing in. Exhale, keep the foot where it is, but bring the left hand to the ground. Spin up onto the right set of toes there. You might have to hop a little bit. So our fallen tree position. That same partial push-up. Go down a little bit, push away, left leg extends up into the sky behind you. Left foot comes to the top of the mat, high lunge. So right heel is lifted. We're in our high lunge position. Meet me here. Now, follow me. We're going to breathe in, just reach up. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to the floor. Fingertips on the ground. I call this like spider's legs. So it's not your whole palm, it's just your fingertips. Now you're going to walk your hands forward, so you're getting more weight into this left foot in your hands. Lightness in that back foot, so you can actually lift the leg. We're just repositioning this right foot. We're setting it down behind the other. Now if you can see me, I'm setting it down directly behind the other, and there's about a block distance between the heel and the toes, something like this. And the alignment of the foot here is directly behind the other, as if I'm standing on a painted line or a balancing beam. As best as you can, you might need to rise up to fingertips more. Can you extend your legs straight as can be, sending your hips straight back, your crown forward. This is pyramid pose. Now the fingertips can stay on the ground, but if you engage the legs by squeezing them in towards each other, you might be able to lift your hands back behind you, reach to the wall behind you. Your focus is directly down at the ground. Inhale for more length and energy. Exhale, soften it up, bend the knees a little, set your fingers back onto the ground. Weight shifts forward into the hands so you can reposition the right foot next to the other. So you're in a forward fold. Let's take monkey pose. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, bring your hands to the mat. We'll step back into plank. Just help realign and lengthen the body. All right, left side plank. So left hand stays on the ground. Opening up sideways, stacked legs and feet if you can, or stagger them if you need to. Don't forget your left knee can come to the ground if it needs to be. Right hand is lifting up into the air, as well as your right hip. Flex your right foot, and if you can, lift that leg up.
Bend your knee, turn your knee towards the ceiling. Set your toes gently, lightly on the inside of the left leg. Keep lifting up into the air. Keep that right foot right where it is. Inhale. Exhale, carefully land that right hand onto the mat or fallen tree. Remember that right knee, it wants to pull down to the ground, but lift it so it's pointing to the right side of the room. Partial push-up, bend of elbows a little or a lot. Push away to down dog. Re-extend right leg up into the air. Right foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Make sure the left heel stays lifted. Rising up, meeting me here. All right, we're breathing in. Nice extension. Exhale, fold. Bring your spider's legs to the ground. Walk your hands forward, get weight into the hands and right foot. So you can lift the left foot, reposition it on your balancing beam. Remember, there's about a block distance between the foot or the toes and the heel. And if you're able, all 10 toes pointing in the same direction, standing on the painted line. Straighten the legs as best as you can. You have to shift your weight back. Try to put more pressure in that back heel. Squeeze inner thighs towards each other. Engage your belly. If you're able, maybe you can lift your hands and reach back behind you. Keep your focus down. That might even help with balance. Pyramid. Inhale for more extension. Exhale, soften. Bend the knees. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Shift the weight forward so you can reposition left foot next to the other. Forward fold. Shift weight back into the heels, both heels. Bend your knees. We're going to stand up. Inhale. Rising up, reach into the sky. Exhale, palms together and down to your heart. Very nice. Let's hold for a moment. All right, let's put a sequence together here. And it's going to start with our tree pose. So just follow me. So start by shifting weight into your right foot. Root down, feel tall. Your exhale to engage so you can float that left foot up. Swing the knee out to the side, plug it in. Go ahead and take the arms up into the air. Inhale to reach high. Exhale to connect to core. Let's keep the arms reaching into the sky. You're going to swing that left knee forward. Lift your knee with the flex foot. Follow me. You're going to bend your right knee, the leg you're standing on, bend that knee so you can hinge forward. Reach out with the hands, but extend the left leg back behind you. Get low enough so you can set the left set of toes on the ground. So we can rise up and arrive in high lunge. We're going to get tall. Lift. Extend the legs. Open. To our triangle setup here. Reach out over the right leg and rotate the arms into triangle pose. Nice. Coming out of the posture, we're going to bend the right knee, lunge, come up through a warrior two, reverse the warrior, reaching right hand up into the air. Now we're going to windmill, bring the hands down to the floor, step back plank, right foot lifted. Fallen tree, so right foot comes to the inside of the left leg. Knee lifting away from the ground. Partial push-up. Go down a little, push away, down dog, right leg extends. Right foot returns to the top of the mat. High lunge again. Rising up nice and tall. Reopen to our triangle prep. This time swing the right foot so it faces the same direction as the left foot. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, and fold. We're just going to stay in the fold. From here, walk your hands over to your right foot. Turn the right foot forward. Spider's legs or on the hands. Step the hands forward. So you can lift the left foot, reposition that left foot behind you on our balancing beam so we can move into pyramid. Shift the weight back so you have a lot more pressure in that left heel. Straighten the legs as best as you can. Feel the hips pull back, crown forward. If you're able, take your arms back behind you. They're parallel to the ground too. Look directly down. Make sure your neck is long. Now, shoot the arms forward, and as you're shooting them forward, see if you can hinge from hips and rise up, standing on the balancing beam, nice and tall. Reach. Let's shift the weight forward into the right foot so we can reposition left foot down next to the other mountain pose. Bring hands back down to your heart. Right away to the other side. Start shifting weight into your left foot. Root down. Feel tall, lengthened spine. Exhaling so we can float right foot up. Swing the knee out to the side. Plug it in. Tree pose. You can take those arms into the air. Arms stay extended. We'll swing the right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Stay there. Bend the left knee, the leg you're standing on. Bend the knee. Hinge forward. Keep good energy and extension through the arms as you extend your right leg back for balance. Come down to lightly land on your toes behind you, lifting your torso so it's perpendicular to the ground. High lunge. Lift up, straightening the legs. Opening up, prep for triangle. Let's take triangle, reaching out. Rotate the arms. To come out of the pose, we're going to bend the left knee so we have a lunge. Come up through a warrior two. Reverse your warrior, left hand reaching into the air or behind you. Windmill, bring the hands down to the ground. We'll step back, plank. Left foot lifted. Fallen tree. Left knee pointing to the left side of the room. Partial push-up, down dog. Left leg extends up and away behind you, good. Left foot returns to the top of the mat, high lunge. Once again, find that balance, less weight in the hands so you can rise up easily. Once you're here, we're going to shoot tall. Lift, straighten the legs. Pivot to open to our triangle prep. But turn left foot to match the right foot. So our little star shape. Breathe in, reach out. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees and fold. Stay in the fold, get that nice little stretch here. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Turn the toes forward on your mat. Walk your spider's legs forward so you can lift the right foot. Reposition it behind the other on your balancing beam. Shift the weight back towards right heel. Make sure the heel is planted into the ground. Straighten the legs as best as you can. Squeeze to inner thighs. Lengthen spine. There's a lot going on here. If you've got the balance, lift your hands, reach back. Pyramid. Core engagement. Swing the arms forward to rise up until you're tall, standing on the balancing beam. It takes a lot of balance there too. Shift the weight forward into the left foot. Step the right foot forward so you're in extended mountain pose. Stay there. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, chair pose. Breathe in, more extension through the arms. Exhale, dive out of your seat. Forward fold. Monkey pose, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back. Just walk back into plank. Right side plank, once again. Right side plank. Good. Reaching up, lifting the left foot. Yes. Bend the knee, turn the knee towards ceiling. Maybe left foot barely touching the inside of the right leg. Can you keep the foot in place? Bring the left hand back down to the ground. Hold. You're going to just re-extend the left leg. Set your toes onto the ground and just spin open to the other side. Left side plank. Right leg lifts when you're ready, if you're able. Bend the right knee. Turn the knee towards the ceiling. Let the toes touch the inside of the extended left leg. Keep that leg posture. Turn. Right hand to the ground. Right knee is lifting. Strong upper bodies. Re-extend the right leg. So you're on your toes, both feet on the ground. Chaturanga. Up dog. And downward facing. We're taking a seat. If you can, hop forward, cross your legs to take your seat. Let's take one more diamond pose, or our cobbler's pose here. Once you're seated, you can sit on a block or a prop if you need to, or just sit on the mat. We're not going to be here too long. We're just going to get a nicely extended spine. Exhale, fold. And even treat this like a little relaxation pose. That was a lot of movement, a lot of engaging, a lot of breath. So just notice your breath. You might be a little bit out of breath. And so maybe in this seated forward fold, in our diamond shape with the legs, you can take deep breaths. Settle in. We'll take 3 more breaths here. We're going to recreate this pose 2 more times. We're going to rise back up until you're nice and tall in your seat. Just hold there for a moment so you can feel that nicely extended spine. You can break this pose. We're just going to lie down, okay? So break your pose so you can lie down. Go ahead and hug knees to chest. And if you need to, you can give yourself a little massage. Maybe a little rocking and movement here if that feels good. Now here comes the next version of that cobbler position or bound angle pose, that diamond shape with the legs. So press the soles of the feet together. Knees will point out to the sides of the room. You might hold on to your ankles or the feet here. And here, if it feels okay, go ahead and press the heels down towards your pelvis or towards the floor. Knees and legs will push forward towards the front of your mat. And that will kind of recreate that seated cobbler position. A couple breaths here. So this is version 2. And we're going to take this to a 3rd version in a moment. This does take a little bit of effort of holding onto the feet, gently pressing heels down as the legs press forward. But now we can relax this. Keep the feet pressing together, but set the feet onto the ground. You can even send the feet forward a little bit, still creating that diamond shape in the legs. And maybe just completely relaxing here. Arms can just come down by your side. Let the body soften. Stay here as long as you like. We're at the end of our moving practice, so you can stay here for the duration. This could be your Shavasana or restorative position. You can also take this to Shavasana, or even add any other movements before you come to your final position. So you might even put in a back bend or a twist or an inverted pose. Anything you'd like to add here to help complete your moving practice.
Stay exactly where you are. No need to move just yet. Just tune into your breath. Notice the slow, deep breaths you're taking now. Continue to be aware of your breath, this time taking 5 slow, deep breaths. And as you're approaching your 5th breath, prepare your body to move. And moving very slowly, roll onto either side of your body, just moving into a nurturing position. Take your time. Continue to move in slow motion and gently rise now to a seated posture. And once you're here, inhale and extend your arms out and up, reaching into the sky. As you exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Hold here for a moment. Take a breath in and out on your own. And as we complete our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.